Hey guys, today is March 18th of 2022, and got myself a little stand for the phone, and I'm operating on the Bluetooth, so this might be a little easier than me sitting there holding a selfie stick or what have you. Yeah, geez, today's Friday, and I've been up here since Tuesday, and we've all been busy, yakking, and so I haven't made any videos. But man, we've had some incredible events happen. Um, Maybe one of these days when Chris wraps his head around what had happened, he'll come on and shoot a video. He actually had to leave out of here today um, on an emergency, so we'll just say that. But you know, the previous video to this, I talked about the healing that I got. You know, with the hand in or on my back, and my back still feels phenomenal. You know, I can still tell there's a little bit of a tinge in there, but you know, it's a hell of a lot better than it was. One of the other things that had happened Tuesday night is I was sitting in my chair. My chair is kind of back behind the camera, the one I was sitting in. But Chris was sitting right here, and Chuck was sitting a little bit off to the right from where the camera is right now. And I'd taken my beanie off. A, with all this hair I got now, my head wasn't as cold as normal, and I just didn't feel like having it on. It wasn't that bad out. And I kept feeling what felt like a bug landing on my head. You know, and this is 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, you know, there's, full moon. I kept looking up, or, damn near close to full moon. We're full moon tonight. But, I could see really well, and I kept looking up and just couldn't see anything. And so I asked uh, Chuck and Chris if they could see anything behind me. And what they saw was, I'm going to just go ahead and use it. They saw a cloaked juvenile. There was a shimmering distortion right behind me. And I mean, literally right behind me. And I don't know how long this lasted, 10, 15 minutes, but I would say, okay, you know, I feel my hair moving. And what they could see is, I got my hair pulled back right now. It wasn't pulled back that night, but they could see my hair being pushed down every time that I said I could feel, you know, that on the top of my head. And so what ended up happening is one of the younger juveniles was standing behind me and touching me on the head. This by no means is a new occurrence. I get touched all the time. Anybody who's out experiencing these things, um, the it's so incredible. To have a juvenile, A, standing right behind you, B, touching you, but it just goes to show the level of trust that we have developed in these different locations where we're out learning. And I just feel honored. We had so much stuff going on that night. Um, Wednesday night, not a whole lot of activity. We had a little bit of a storm come through, a lot of high wind and some sprinkles and Rob came in that night. So we just didn't have a whole lot of activity, and it was funny. Rob and Chuck decided to stay up a little later. I was tired. Chris was tired, so we decided to call it a night. Uh, and I will tell you, Chris has a pretty severe injury, to his right hand. He almost had it amputated, but that's going to be his story, so we'll just leave it there. I brought up my larger tent, extra cot, so I'm taking care of Chris on this trip. And so we called it a night and went into the tent, got the heater set on, and he looked at me and, pardon the language, but he looked at me and said, "Are you fucking with me?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "You didn't put this rock in my sleeping bag." Now, mind you, this is the second night that we're up there. He was in the sleeping bag the whole night before, and he'd taken a nap that day. He goes, "There's a rock in my sleeping bag." I said, "You got to be kidding me." And he goes, "No." And he picks it up out of his sleeping bag, and and he's going, to show it to me. And the only light on in the tent at this time is just the glow from my tent heater. And I kind of recognize it, and I say, "Let me see that." Our side by sides, highways were fairly close to where we're at. But so he hands me this rock. Here, I'll come over here. And he hands me this rock, and those of you who have been with me a real long time know about this rock. I know Mammy Goodhart knows about it, and you can go back to a video or a couple of years ago. But he hands me this rock, and I'm like, "That's my rock." Now I'm going to back up a little bit and tell you the story of this rock. I was at Squatch Camp, and this is back in 2017 when all this first started for me. And I established a gifting area, a gifting stump, that I had a wooden tray that was lag bolted in the top of a stump of a tree that had broke. It was about the 6-foot level. I'd left a bag of the Hostess powdered donuts out there for him. I took them out just before sunset, and the next morning, right before the sun was fully up, I went back out there to check it, expecting to see, maybe a donut missing or something like that. Well, the whole entire bag was gone, and I spent at least 2, maybe 3 hours scouring the area for this bag because I didn't want the trash left out there. Never ever found the bag, and so I was like, "All right, guys, I'm not going to leave trash out in the forest, but this one's on you if you're not going to leave it where I can find it." And had it been an elk, had it been a bear, the bag would have been right there, would have been shredded and what have you. So anyway, I get back to my camp, and at the time I had a 89 Chevy 3/4 ton pickup truck, and this rock was sitting on the bumper. This type of rock geologically does not exist on top of the Mogollon Rim, so it was really interesting. So this was the first gift I was given by the forest people, and I hold it very near and dear to my heart, and I always have it with me when I'm out. So fast forward to this trip. During the day on Wednesday, we were having a conversation, and Chris was talking about arrowhead that was given to him. I believe he said it was a quartz arrowhead, and this was years ago. And Chuck had said, "Hey, Kevin, you got your rock on you?" I'm like, "No, it's in the truck." And I said, I'll probably you know, I'll get it out tomorrow. Um, Chris drove his own vehicle up here. The only time Chris was in my truck, anytime during this trip up to this point, he was in the back seat. Um, where this rock was located in my truck was the front of the center console, up close to the dash, cup holder. It was in the bottom of the cup holder, and I had a couple of items on top of it. And it was in his sleeping bag. You tell me how that happened. I sure as hell didn't put it there. Chuck sure as hell didn't put it there. Chris sure as hell didn't put it there, but yet it ended up in the sleeping bag that Chris was using. So, you know, it was just an amazing moment. You know, like I said, you know, there were some other spectacular things that had happened. You know, Tuesday night. Oh, neighbor Scott's here. Sweet. So we're gonna make this short. But Tuesday night, you know, I had my healing about 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, somewhere around there that morning. Chris had something happen to him. Once he's got his head wrapped around it and decides he wants to talk about it, that's going to be up to him. But I will tell you, there was a major healing involved in it. Very, very powerful moment. So, yeah, that's his story, and that's going to be up to him if and when, or that he decides to tell it. You know, we'll get it on here. Got tonight to go, and I may stay one more night, stay Saturday night. More than likely, I'm going to. I will definitely try to get some more videos made, but for now, I gotta go take care of a few things. So, as always, I love each and every one of you, and I'm very thankful for you taking the time to listen to our experiences and what we have going on out here. Please bear with me. We're going to get things improving. So, with that being said, as always, peace out.